Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. My name is Hailey Rowe, and I'm a sales and marketing coach and LinkedIn lead generation service provider. I work with health, life, and mindset coaches and online service-based business owners to help them get more sales, shift their time to the client-generating activities instead of just the busy work, and overcome that social media overwhelm. Let's get into the show. If you're ready to take on your next paying clients, I have good news. My free 4 Basics of Client Attraction and How to Stand Out class is live at haileyrowe.com/client-attraction. In the class, you're going to learn the top 2 traits I recommend for most coaches and entrepreneurs if they really want to turn this into a career. You're going to learn how you can build demand for your services and stop getting crickets on your posts. You're going to learn the sales roadmap I used to improve my sales conversion rate and help my clients do the same. And you're going to learn so much more. So go to haileyrowe.com/client-attraction and get your copy of the class today.
Hey, I'm live today with Barbara Wainwright, and I'm very excited to chat with her today because she is an expert coach and also certifies coaches, and she's going to be sharing a little bit more about why should we be certified? Why should we really be working on our expertise? And Barbara, how did you get into coaching in the first place? I know you said before you felt called to get into it. So tell us about that process and how you got into what you do today.
So yes, I was searching for 10 years, like, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing next? And I took a bazillion self-help, read a lot of self-help books, but also took classes on spiritual counseling and channeling and pranic healing. And it's like, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And then I stumbled on coaching and I went, oh my God, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm meant to do. So I feel so blessed that I found it. I found what it was that I was looking for so long. And I think that that's within everyone, that we're all here with a purpose, that we're meant to get out there and serve the world in some way. Clearly with you, it is your business coaching and helping people have a successful, thriving business. And without somebody like you helping people along the way, maybe there wouldn't be so many coaches out there being successful today. So everybody, I believe, everybody has that calling within them. And it's just a matter of that discovery. And that's what coaching is about. Coaching is about helping your client discover what's in them that needs to be shared with the world. So anyway, that's kind of a little bit about how I got into it. I just was searching.
Yeah. Love that. Yeah. And the more coaches I have or mentors I work with, the more I'm like, wow, this is so powerful. Because when you don't experience it, you just don't know. Like you don't have realizations, and you're just living your life. And not to say you can achieve your goals, live your best life without having a coach. I'm not one of those coaches that's like, everybody needs to have a coach all the time, but I do think it's an extremely valuable tool. And if we look at the best of the best, or the creme de la creme of their crop, of their industry, of their skills they're trying to learn, etc., it's such a useful way to get further faster, have somebody who doesn't see the things that maybe are blind spots to you. And so tell us a little bit about how you started, certifying coaches, and what is that all about? What kind of methodology do you guys use? Things like that.
Okay. Thank you for that. I got started in training and certifying coaches because when I first got into coaching, it was extremely expensive to get certified as a coach, number one. It was also extremely time consuming. It was, if you wanted to be certified through the ICF, and that's one of the accrediting bodies. We're with Strategic Learning Alliance as our third-party accrediting body, but ICF required at the time 60 hours worth of training. And then now it's 120 hours worth of training. So here's the thing about that. Coaching isn't that hard, in my opinion. Coaching is really about asking questions. So why would you need 120 hours of learning how to ask questions? Well, maybe because it could be too generic. like we talk about when we're talking about marketing, you need to be very specific. Same with coaching. You need to be very specific in the questions that you ask and make sure that they're on point and questions that are helping your clients to think more strategically and more tactically. And so when I looked at the big picture of coaching, I looked at how much money it costs, and I looked at how powerful coaching is and the transformation that it can make for people. Oh my God, it can help people live a life of fulfilling, purpose-filled life. Well, that's extremely valuable, yes, but to charge $20,000 to get your training because we need to have 120 hours worth of, okay, this is not making sense to me. And I came from a software development background where I'm designing systems to make things run faster, smoother, and make it easier for the end user to use. And so I stepped back and I looked at the big picture. We're asking questions. How hard is this? It isn't that hard. I don't think it should take 120 hours to figure that out. So then I designed a system, actually 2 systems. One was a system of coaching that has at this point been proven to work. That's the first thing. And then the second thing was I designed a system of training, because I don't think people learn as well from a video as they would by actually doing. So my training is you learn part of the system, you apply it. You learn and apply, you learn and apply. And by the time you're done with the class, you have received coaching and you have coached somebody. So you've gained the experience of what it's like to coach somebody. You already know what it's like by the time you're done in the class. You've done it. And the second thing is you've received it. So now you know what it's like to receive the coaching with this coaching system, which is really, I don't know other companies. I'm sure there's other companies out there doing something similar. However, what we do in our class is we create a vision statement for a client. How do we do that? We do that by asking questions. So we have a specific set of questions that we ask our clients, like, where do you want to go? What do you want to experience? What's that going to look like? What's the impact going to be on your life? We take all their answers to those questions and we write a script for them. And we call it a vision statement. We create that vision statement for them. Now, in their mind's eye, they can listen to that vision statement over and over and over again, and it reprograms the subconscious mind. What gets in the way of people moving forward? It's their subconscious mind, their self-sabotage, their limiting beliefs. Oh my God, I can't do this. Or maybe think, here's the other thing. Most people aren't aware of the limiting beliefs that they have in their subconscious mind. They're there and they're driving. I don't know if you're aware, but only 5% of our day are we actually operating from our creative conscious mind. 95% of the day, we're operating from our subconscious mind. Well, if the subconscious mind isn't on board with our success, guess what? You're self-sabotaging 95% of the day. So that's why I see the vision statement. It's a game changer. When we have that vision statement, even in class, when people receive the vision statement in class, it is so moving that it touches the heart center of anybody that receives that vision statement. And what that does is, if they listen to it repeatedly, and we recommend for the next 30 days to listen to it every day, it reprograms the subconscious mind to be on board with where the client's creative, heart-centered dreams, desires, wishes, they want to create and express in the world. And doing that for our clients and having their subconscious mind be on board with where they want to go, what unfolds is that they get and have success in half the time that they thought it was going to take them. So if we said, what do you want your life to look like in a year? In 6 months from now, they will have those successes. So that's the beauty of having a vision statement. It reprograms the subconscious mind so that the client's subconscious mind is on board with where they want to go with their creative conscious mind. And when they get ready to go do something, let's say they wanted to get on stage and speak in front of an audience, instead of having the anxiety and stress that's normally associated with doing that, instead of being freaked out about it, they're going to have done it 100 times or more in their mind's eye. They're going to have seen themselves be successful. They're going to have seen themselves getting up on stage and being confident and sharing with the audience and having them laugh and getting a standing ovation when they're done, and having that be such a fulfilling, rich experience. That's what they're going to be thinking about when they get up on stage. They're going to be unstoppable. And that's what we do with our coaching system. So, and then of course, after the vision statement is created, it's accountability. What steps are you going to take to move in that direction, and holding them accountable to getting things done and moving along. So that's the coaching system. And I think that's why I've been so successful. I've been doing this since 2006, and our coaching system's been proven to work. The curriculum's been accredited at the university graduate level because the coaching system was taught as part of a leadership program for Boeing employees through Seattle Pacific University. So, a lot of things have happened along the journey. We ended up getting our third-party accrediting body in around 2013, I think it was. We grandfathered all of previous graduates into that accrediting body, and now everybody goes through the accrediting body and has the privilege of getting that credential, the certified professional coach credential. So it's been a long journey, but at the same time, I'm still here. Just like you're still here. You've been doing this for a long time too. And the reason for that is, I think, twofold. One is, this is what I'm meant to do. This is why I'm here. I'm meant to encourage people, motivate, and inspire people to get on the path. What is it that you're meant to do? Let's get you there. Now, if you come to the class and you get certified as a coach, I'll share something that I think is really super interesting, Hailey. 50% of the people that come to the class, and we're asking, what is it that you want to do, right? And you'd think, they've paid good money to come to a coach training. You'd think they'd be going, yeah, well, I want to build this coaching business. I want to have, 10 clients or something. But a lot of the time, I'll say about 50% of the time, when they are asked, and maybe it's the first time they're asked, I don't know, but what is it that you want to create in the world? What do you want to do with your life? A lot of the times it's not, I want to build this amazing coaching business. It's, I want to write a book, or I want to travel, or I want to start a community center and bring people together. I mean, it's just amazing that 50% of the time when people come to the class and they're getting asked, what is it that you want to create in the world? It's not this amazing coaching business that I want to start.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, I mean, and the thing is, coaching yourself is whatever you want to do. Write a book, speak, start some kind of community center, etc. You will have to learn how to coach yourself, and you can use coaching in managing a team in your job. You can use coaching in talking to your spouse, like not coach your spouse, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
you can coach yourself when you got drama with your spouse and you don't want to bring that to the table or whatever. Like,
right.
It applies to whatever channel in life that you want to get better at. And I think that what you said about shifting our subconscious mind, I think of the book Atomic Habits, and how he talks about in that book how if you want to start working out consistently, it's going to be real hard if you're just like fighting it and you see yourself as always been a lazy person, and you don't. You have to shift your identity to I am an athlete, or I am somebody who works out consistently, or I am somebody who's active. I'm an active person. But when you really line up with that and you're like, that is me, that it makes decisions so much easier. And I think some people think, well, I can't, like they have this concept in their mind that is how they are, and they label themselves really strongly a certain way. And with coaching and with curiosity and with your process, with your vision statement and stuff, people can change how they've labeled themselves for years and open up new doors and possibilities. So I love that you said that. So what are some things that you see that coaches maybe are doing wrong in their coaching practice, like coaching skills wise, that maybe you'd give advice on how they could improve?
Well, that's a great question. I think anybody that's had formal training knows that coaching isn't telling. You don't tell anybody anything. As a coach, it's about asking questions. And surely if somebody sees a client that's about to make a decision that's probably not going to serve them. They can ask them strategic questions like, okay, let's say you take that step. What's the impact going to be on your family life when you do that? Because if the coach can see, look ahead and go, oh my God, that's going to ruin the marriage. The coach can ask those questions. Is that something that you really want to be doing right now? You really want, when you take that step forward, what's that impact going to be on your family? What's the impact going to be on this situation or that situation? So we do ask I'll call it the tough questions. We're not there to placate or try and make them feel good about everything that they're doing, because everything they're doing might not be in their best interest. It's like, here's another thing. It's like, people come to us as coaches because their best thinking got them where they are right now. They need somebody that's going to help them look at the bigger picture, look from outside the box, and guide them to where it is that they heart-centeredly really want to go. What is it that they really want to experience in life? And look at take 2 steps back and look at the bigger picture, And so I think one of the mistakes that people who are calling themselves coaches that aren't really coaches, they're consultants, and I think, calling yourself a coach when you're really a consultant is, I don't know, it's not good for the coaching industry, number one, because then people think, oh, a coach is going to go tell me what to do, which a true coach would never. But so that I think that's the biggest thing that coaches are doing, that call themselves coaches but not really coaches, they're consultants. So training, that's why I think another big reasons why I think training is so key and so important, because you need to know the difference between what is the difference between coaching and consulting. Consulting is, you better have all the answers as a consultant. You can't walk in somewhere and call yourself a consultant without having all the answers. I mean, I did consulting. I was a consultant for decades. I did software. The reason why I was hired was because I had the answers. I wasn't hired so I could go in and ask questions. It's completely different. So I think understanding that and knowing that and honoring that for your client and the situation that you're in is really, really important. And I think that's why there's a lot of people out there calling themselves coaches when they're not really coaches at all, not by the true definition.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I learned that. I did a life coaching certification. I've done a behavioral change type of certification. I've done a human potential. And in all of them, it's like, you hold the space, you ask open questions, you listen, you don't come in with pre-agenda, or, you don't get, as they call it, in the pool with them, meaning like, yeah, we're both going to commiserate together. You have to hold the space for them. And I do call myself a coach and consultant when I can,
nice.
Not too wordy, because I do give business advice. I do say, I think you should change this on your website. I think this is a weak email. Like, so
right.
right. And I love combining both, and both are really powerful together. But I think you're right, Barbara. Like, we've all had parents before who tell us what to do. And if that's the only thing, and we don't change our identity, or we don't have, a coach maybe with questions and having something be our idea, that's the power of coaching. It's your client's idea that they need to go do something. And then they're way more like, oh, heck yeah, I'm going to do that, compared to being like, okay, you need to do this. Nobody likes hearing that.
It's so true. And I love what you said. Consulting is super powerful. Just like you said, and the combination of coaching and consulting, huge. And I love that. I love that you can do both. You can be a coach and you can be a consultant. I think coaching comes first, because how are you going to know what the client wants to do unless you're asking them the questions first, right? It's like, how do you know what somebody's passionate about unless you ask them? So ask them what they're passionate about. What do they want to create in their world? What, in terms of your consulting, it's like, I'm sure one of the questions you ask is, what will you do consistently? Because marketing is about consistency. If you aren't going to post on social media every day, don't do social media for your marketing. It's like, that's a no-brainer. So you've got to ask the questions to really help empower your clients to be the best that they can be. And I agree so much that coaching and consulting go hand in hand. It's so perfect. In fact, part of when I'm teaching people about coaching, we talk about packaging. How can you package yourself as a coach? Well, I call it a platinum package, is consulting and coaching. What's your expertise? What do you love to talk about? What would you like to share with them? What are you the best at? What can you do in your sleep when other people are struggling with it? That's your magic sauce right there. So put that into your platinum coaching package. And of course, you don't call it just a coaching package. My platinum package includes my consulting services. I'll help you get these things done because I'm a consultant too. So consulting and coaching do go hand in hand. And I think that's just a misnomer that some people tag themselves as a coach when they're really doing both. Maybe they're doing both. Maybe they are coaching, but they're certainly not just coaching.
Definitely. So on the topic of asking good questions, I'm just curious, are there 1 to 3 powerful questions that either you have used to change your own life or that really caused you to pause and think, or that you've heard your students use or anything like that you'd want to share with our audience?
Sure. I think the most powerful question I've ever either been asked or asked myself is, what kind of a legacy do you want to leave the world? Do you want to make an impression? Do you want to do something that empowers others and have that be your legacy? I think that's such a key question. When you are dead and people are standing around your grave thinking about you and reminiscing, what do you want them to be thinking? What do you want them to be talking about? Do you want them to be talking about how you made them feel, how you uplifted them, how you inspired them, how you helped them to get on this journey to be a better them? Or, do you just like, well, she came and she went and that was that. It's like, no. So I don't know. I think that's a really important question that we all should be asking ourselves. What kind of a legacy do you want to leave the world? If you want to leave, maybe you don't want to leave a legacy. I don't know. But what kind of a difference do you want to make in the world? How do you want to be remembered?
I love that. Yeah. And if that feels too big, like some people might hear that question and be like, that's like a deep question, right? Like, yes. Start with something small. What are you excited about? What are you excited about today? How could you help one person today? What's a characteristic you want to practice more or something like that? So
I love it.
There's so much power with breaking down questions and different questions and all that kind of stuff. So Barbara, where can everybody connect with you, stay in touch, get all your good resources and all that good stuff?
Thank you. So the website is lifecoachtrainingonline.com or wainwrightglobal.com. Either one, both lead to the same place. And there's a book on there called 10 Essential Things You Absolutely Must Know Before You Start Your Coaching Career. And it's really just information on, should you be a coach? Why should I get certified? Who are the certification entities and that kind of thing. So it's free to you. It's my gift to you to help you know a little bit, get a little bit of background about coaching before you jump in. And then there's another book on there as well called 52 Coaching Niches, because if you learn a system, you can coach in any coaching niche that you choose to go after.
So. Amazing. Those are awesome. Yeah. So thank you so much. And is there anything you want to leave with our audience that we haven't covered?
Yes. I would just say, I know that it's probably primarily coaches that are listening to this, and I just want to honor you for stepping up to be of service, to help empower others and help them live their dream. Like, what is it that they have a passion for in their life? And you, as a coach, are a catalyst for that change to help people live a heart-centered, purpose-filled, passionate life. So thank you for stepping up and helping others.
Yes. And we don't even see the ripple effect that coaching has, like where your client got more confident. So then they ended up speaking and adding value to somebody else's life. And then that person, it's just this whole thing. So thank you again. And thank you, coaches, for all the work you do. And I'll talk to you soon, Barbara.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to this podcast. And if it's really helpful for you, I'd really appreciate if you share it and or leave a written podcast review. This tells the podcast sites that our show is useful and it will be promoted to more people that way. Thanks again.